Disowned by my family, I returned 9 years later and left them speechless at my brother's wedding. They threw me out 9 years ago, said I'd never be more than a useless high school dropout, but last month I stood at my brother's wedding and watched their perfect little world shatter like glass under my heel. Back then, I was just the awkward daughter nobody wanted. My father called me defective. My mother told me I'd never be worth a single penny. They worshipped my younger brother. He was the golden boy, their ticket into rich circles. I was the invisible stain. When they kicked me out, I had nothing but a cheap backpack and a bus ticket. I remember sitting alone at the station that night, terrified, hungry, but weirdly free for the first time. I promised myself one day they'd choke on every word they threw at me. I worked 3 jobs, lied about my shifts, scraped every single dollar. At night, I snuck into the university library, pretending I was a student, teaching myself medical science from dusty old textbooks. Nobody knew my name back then, but 2 people did see me. An old professor who'd slip me books after hours, and my first real friend, a student who caught me sleeping under a study desk. He didn't pity me. He handed me a coffee and said, "You don't belong on the floor. You belong out there making them regret it." I built my own tiny business selling nutritional supplements out of my studio apartment. At first, nobody cared, but one hospital tested my formula, and it worked. One hospital turned into 5. 5 turned into 50. And suddenly, I was the CEO they begged to meet. Fast forward to last month. My brother's big fancy wedding. Expensive flowers, crystal chandeliers, everything my parents always bragged about but could never really afford. I was there as a guest of honor because my company sponsored half the event. They didn't know until I walked in. I caught my mother's face first, her forced smile freezing when she saw me. My father's eyes darted from my dress to the VIP badge clipped to my purse. My brother, who used to mock me in front of his friends, gave me this fake hug and whispered, "Don't cause a scene tonight." I didn't have to. Karma did it for me. When the speeches started, the wedding planner called me to the stage to thank the incredible woman whose company made this entire event possible. 100 rich guests clapped for me, while my parents sat frozen, trapped in their chairs, forced to watch the daughter they threw away stand under the spotlight. They'd always chased for themselves. Then came the twist. I'd found out months ago through an old college contact that my brother's fancy new wife had been secretly texting my ex behind his back. Screenshots, receipts, all of it. He was marrying a fraud, just like him. So when it was my turn to toast, I raised my glass, smiled at my wide-eyed parents, then turned to the happy couple and said, "Funny how some people spend their whole lives pretending, but secrets always make it to the altar, don't they?" I left the envelope on their wedding cake table, photos and all. I walked out to the sound of 100 stunned whispers and one spoiled little brother begging his bride to explain herself. I didn't stay for the fallout, didn't need to. Outside, in the cool night air, I slipped off my heels and laughed so hard I thought my ribs would crack. 9 years ago, they told me I'd never make it alone. Last month, I reminded them I didn't just make it. I made sure they'd never forget what happens when you bet against the daughter you tried to break.